Government officials came together today to discuss the bipartisan House passage of the Susan Muffley Act.
President Biden even expressing his support of the legislation. If passed, it would restore the pensions of Delphi salaried retirees who were terminated after General Motors' bankruptcy back in 2009. Congressman Mike Turner introduced the act after working with those impacted for years. Allison Walker is live tonight. And Allison, what is he saying about it?
Well, Megan, Adam, he tells me that the General Motors bankruptcy left roughly 20,000 salaried Delphi retirees with no pensions. And he says that over 5,000 of them are from right here in Dayton, Ohio. Its impacts are most devastating for retirees like Susan Muffley, who died of pancreatic cancer after not being able to afford medical care. And Turner was joined by local retirees impacted to celebrate the achievement. Now hear what they have to say about it.
So she deferred medical care until it was simply too late. And tragic that this happened. That's real harm. There's been, I know, friends of mine, bankruptcies. Friends of mine have been through foreclosures, divorces.
The White House picked winners and losers, and these people had their pensions unjustly taken from them. Because this was a federal government action, we needed federal action to put the pensions back.
Allison, so what precedent does Turner hope this all sets?
Well, he tells me he hopes it sets a precedent that the federal government should not choose winner or losers. And he also hopes that it will hold the federal government accountable for taking care of employees and ensuring that workers receive the pensions that they worked their entire lives for. But be sure to tune in tonight at 6:30 on Fox 45 to hear about Senator Sherrod Brown's efforts to make sure this act is passed as soon as next week. Back to you.
Allison, thanks. A live look at the Capitol building now, where the CHIPS Act has cleared the House. It passed the Senate yesterday. The Bipartisan Chips and Science Act provides $280 billion to boost the domestic semiconductor industry. $52 billion is in subsidies to U.S. chip manufacturers to incentivize new construction. The bill now heads to the president's desk for a signature. He is expected to sign it. That's a huge impact here in Ohio, too. Right now, the $20 billion Intel chip plant in Licking County should start construction. It had been waiting for this bill to be passed to begin groundbreaking. Governor Mike DeWine reacting on Twitter. He says, quote, "This will, quote, strengthen our national security, help fuel economic growth, and turn Ohio into a nationwide semiconductor powerhouse."
All right, another hot day here in the Miami Valley, but it looks like we could have some rain moving in at some point tonight. We want to check in now with Mike Joyce, who's in for Natalie tonight. What are we looking at tonight?
Yeah, right now it looks excellent outside.
Beautiful.
We have a blue sky, little bit of rain though. Yeah, like you said, just to our west. Good evening. I'm Mike Joyce filling in for Natalie. Yes, the blue sky. This looks beautiful on our Kettering Health Sky Cam. Temperatures though, right where they are typically in late July, 85 degrees. This isn't bad though. Dew points at 62. That's pretty darn comfortable for us here in late July. But temperatures are warm. Springboro is at 85, Springfield 84, Greenville 82. Very comfortable up to the north. So any folks up at Indian Lake are probably having a pretty nice evening out there on the lake in some of our northern communities. Maybe firing up the barbecue. Great night for that overall. 84 at 7, 83 at 8, 9 o'clock, 79 degrees. Sunset tonight at 8:54. But yes, we do have the chance for a few showers tonight. I'll let you know if thunder is in the mix and when 90s are in the forecast.
Mike, thanks. The famous U.S. Navy Blue Angels have officially touched down in Dayton. 6 FA-18 Super Hornets and 55 team members. They're all here for this year's Centerpoint Energy Dayton Air Show presented by Kroger. The team says they are excited to be part of this event in Dayton, the birthplace of aviation, and that being a Blue Angel is an honor they don't take lightly.
The fact that you get to represent 800,000 people, men, women, civilians in the United States Navy and Marine Corps is a true opportunity. And we do our absolute best to uphold that standard, if not raise that standard every single day that we possibly can. And we do that through community outreach and airshow flight demonstrations.
Also, Natalie will have the honor of flying with the Blue Angels tomorrow morning. She'll take off just before 11, and she'll be live in studio to tell us all about her experience, so be sure to tune in to hear what it's like inside the cockpit. And the Centerpoint Energy Air Show expects at least 60,000 people to come from all around the world to see more than 50 military and civilian aircrafts. The shows get started at noon on Saturday and Sunday. You can get your tickets online or at your nearest Kroger.
At least 3 people are dead after historic, catastrophic flooding in Kentucky. Several inches of rain falling in a very short amount of time, washing out communities. The water is up to roof lines of homes, and it's still rising right now. More than 22,000 customers have lost power, and several counties lost access to water. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear has since declared a state of emergency.
What we're going to see coming out of this is massive property damage. We expect the loss of life. Hundreds will lose their homes, and this is going to be yet another event that it's going to take not months, but likely years for many families to rebuild and recover from.
The National Guard has been activated and is assisting. This is one of the worst floods in the state's history. And a live look in Vandalia now. Ohio Task Force 1 is being deployed to help conduct search and rescue efforts there. 16 members of the water rescue team are about to head out to help in Kentucky. Tonight on Dayton 24/7 Now at 10 and 11, Clara Faith is going to talk with the team and brings us what they say about this new assignment.
President Biden touting the Inflation Reduction Act today. The $739 billion package would be paid for by a 15% minimum corporate tax and is far from the original $4 trillion price tag. It does have a lot of similarities to the president's Build Back Better plan that stalled in Congress, though. There's provisions to lower health care costs, improve energy security, tackle the climate crisis, and reduce the deficit by more than $300 billion. The legislation is a compromise deal between Senators Chuck Schumer and Joe Manchin, the president praising their progress.
The hard work of hours and days and months from people who refuse to give up pays off. History is made. Lives are changed. With this legislation, we're facing up to some of our biggest problems, and we're taking a giant step forward as a nation.
The Senate is expected to vote on the package next week. It faces stiff opposition, though, from the GOP, who say Democrats' spending led to the inflation hikes this bill is supposed to tackle.
A live look now at the CDC's monkeypox tracker. They've now confirmed more than 4,600 cases of monkeypox all across the country. Just yesterday, that number was around 3,600, so it's climbed more than 1,000 cases in just a day's time. Ohio is reporting 17 cases tonight, and 2 of those are in Cincinnati.
The process of picking a jury for the biggest murder trial in Ohio history is now underway. James Pilcher was in Pike County today. He tells us what's coming next.
Jury questionnaires in the murder trial of George Wagner IV went out by mail earlier this month. Final answers were due almost 2 weeks ago. It's the official start to the biggest trial ever here in Pike County. George IV is one of 4 members of the Wagner family accused of carrying out one of the most notorious killing sprees in Ohio history. 8 members of the Roden and Gilley families were shot to death in their homes on April 2016, leading to the state's largest murder investigation. Younger brother Jake Wagner pleaded guilty last year to all charges. He has agreed to testify against his family in exchange for the death penalty to be taken off the table for he and his family. George's lawyers have said he didn't kill anyone that night 6 years ago, and he should not be facing the death penalty. In-person jury selection begins on August 8th and lasts about 2 weeks. As for those jury questions, I was told they're not part of the public record when I asked for them earlier today from the clerk's office. We are officially challenging that decision. We feel the viewers should know what prospective jurors are being asked in this trial. Back to you guys.
James, thanks. Well, there is a new political party in the U.S. tonight. Megan's at the Now Desk, so what do we know about this new option for voters, Megan? Yeah,
Adam, it's called Forward, and this new party was formed hoping to appeal to voters upset about the current 2-party system. Former presidential candidate Andrew Yang is one of its founders, but we're told the party is a combination of former staffers in GOP administrations, an interlocking group of Democrats and Republicans, as well as Yang's own independent party that he formed back in 2021. Now, the Forward Party likely won't play a role in this year's midterms. Instead, it's shooting for a ballot access in late 2024.
The National Conference for Community and Justice of Greater Dayton holding a summer edition of the Police and Youth Together Camp. More than 60 10 to 13-year-olds and law enforcement agencies came together today, and the goal is to teach kids leadership skills, team building, diversity, and inclusion, all while building relationships with police. Today, the kids ran an obstacle course, got up close and personal with police gear, and most of all, they say they had fun.
We're giving them a space where they can understand their community. They can understand the folks who are part of this community, the law enforcement who are in this community.
That's what this is about, having fun, getting to know one another, answering questions, pretty much bringing the community together, especially in this troubled days that we're living in with all the bad news. This is good news.
The week-long camp has happened every year, twice a year since 2010, and thanks to Montgomery County's Adamus, it is always free. Well, it is time to get ready for the school year. That means buying school supplies, of course, but inflation obviously making that harder. How much you can expect to spend.
And the man charged with raping a 10-year-old Columbus girl and impregnating her is back in jail. Up next, the latest in the case that sparked a flashpoint in the national abortion debate.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Weather Window presented by the National Weather Desk.
Massive flash flooding in eastern Kentucky and southwest Virginia, as some places saw an estimated foot of rainfall since yesterday. Firefighters are using rafts to rescue people stranded by flooded roads, and some communities are only accessible by boat. The North Fork Kentucky River at Whitesburg rose 18 feet in less than 12 hours, setting a new record crest by nearly 6 feet so far.
Follow the National Weather Desk on your favorite social media platform.
Well, it's that time of year again, back to school shopping in full force. As inflation soars, though, spending is only expected to go up. Genesis Narrow shares just how much you may have to spend.
The biggest tip economists tell me is to shop the sales. While it may take more gas to get to a couple of stores, they say you'll likely still be ahead when it comes to the receipt. According to the National Retail Federation, 1/3 of consumers say they're cutting back in other spending areas to cover the cost of items for the upcoming school year. Families expect to spend more per person on both K-12 and college items this year as a result of higher prices. Families with children in elementary through high school plan to spend an average of $864 on school items, which is about $15 more than last year.
But the fact is prices are up and you're probably going to have to spend a bit more than you did last year. How much depends on exactly what you have to buy in any given year for your children.
Economists also recommend reusing supplies when possible, like a backpack or maybe even a calculator, and taking advantage of tax-free weekend. Back to you.
Ohio's tax-free weekend, by the way, starts Friday, August 5th, runs until Sunday, August 7th.
And you can make a difference for local children struggling to get all their supplies this year. Dayton 24/7 Now needs your help to stuff the bus. We're partnering with Cranston Classrooms to collect school supply donations for kids who need some help returning to the classroom this fall. The organization distributes supplies to teachers in Clark, Darke, Greene, Miami, Montgomery, and Warren counties, all for free. Now, we do have a school bus right now parked out in our parking lot. It's going to be there today and tomorrow. The address is listed right there on your screen.
And this evening is feeling pretty comfortable for late July. Humidity's manageable. Temperature's a little bit on the warm side. And first warning Doppler radar is sweeping clean. We did have this very small blip on the radar in our northern counties right along US 33 between about 3 and 5 p.m. That's all we've had. But zooming out, we can see that there is a batch of rain on the south side of this cold front advancing across the Midwest. That batch of rain is coming our way for tonight. So let's break it down. Here 7 p.m. through about 9 and 10 o'clock, we're still dry. But by midnight, a couple of those showers and possibly a few rumbles of thunder coming across the state line between midnight and 1 a.m. These are unlikely to be severe storms, but we could see a few flashes of lightning and hear some rumbles of thunder, brief downpours. Then overnight, they fizzle out. By the morning, a few isolated showers. Many of us are still dry at 7 a.m. And then by 11 a.m., we're partly cloudy. Temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, mid to low 80s in the afternoon, and plenty of sunshine through Friday evening.
Mike, thank you. The man charged with raping a 10-year-old Columbus girl and impregnating her is back in jail tonight. Gerson Fuentes was ordered held without bond at a hearing this morning. The Fuentes case has created a flashpoint in the national abortion debate. Luann Stoya was there in the courtroom, tells us what happened.
There were some heartbreaking moments shared by the Special Victims Unit detective in this courtroom, but no emotion shown by the alleged child rapist, Gerson Fuentes. This is Fuentes being led by deputies into the bond hearing. Fuentes is from Guatemala, and police say he is an undocumented immigrant who has lived in Columbus about 7 years. An interpreter was provided in court. Prosecutors say they have collected DNA from Fuentes and from what they call the product of conception following the girl's abortion. Police say it is a 99.9% match. Before announcing the no bond ruling, Judge Julie Lintz talked about physical and psychological trauma the 10-year-old girl is dealing with, including information about her violent rape and abortion being in the national spotlight. If found guilty, Fuentes faces life in prison without parole. I'm Luann Stoya reporting.
Luann, thank you. Well, no deal tonight. Frontier and Spirit Airlines failing to come to an agreement. Megan's at the Now Desk. So what does this mean for the future now with Spirit?
Well, Adam, it means JetBlue is now going to take over Spirit. JetBlue is going to pay $3.8 billion to buy the discount carrier. That will make JetBlue the country's 5th largest airline. Spirit leaders didn't want a JetBlue merger, and they were trying to make a merger with Frontier work. However, Spirit's shareholders didn't support that plan. Experts say the merger now will likely still face a lot of regulatory hurdles.
The House has passed a bill to expand telehealth services. Telehealth became popular during the pandemic. The measure would keep telehealth policies established under Medicare and would continue through 2024. It would also expand Medicare reimbursements for telehealth services through 2024 for rural health centers, along with other measures. Advocates say the bill gives patients more flexibility, while some critics say the bill needs to do more. A story now from our partners at the Dayton Business Journal. A local developer planning to break ground on the final retail development of the cornerstone of Centerville North. The 10,000 square foot development right next to Costco and Cooper's Hawk in Centerville offers an outdoor patio with lake views, could be close to signing its first tenant. Miami Township-based Oberra Realty Services will break ground this fall. And we have more information at Dayton247now.com. You can find this story and others like it. Just look under the Dayton Business Journal heading in the News tab. Well, it is fair season in the Miami Valley, and Nathan Edwards shows us the family fun happening all over this weekend.
All right, tons of fairs going on this weekend. Let's start with the Clark County Fair. It's currently happening right now. Today and tomorrow, the last couple of days for that. So head on there and have a good old time. Home of 4-H. And then Shelby County Fair is running through Saturday. They have plenty of fun things as well up in the northern counties. And then Preble County, they start on Saturday and run through next weekend. And then finally, the Greene County Fair in Xenia. This one starts on Sunday and runs through the week. Tons of fun stuff out at the fair. You can ride the rides, grab a funnel cake, maybe go check out some of the animals these kids work so hard to raise. And you know what? We're going to be out at the Greene County Fair here at Dayton 24/7 now. So head on out, say hi.
All right, sounds good. Nathan, a live look now from our Kettering Health Skycam. Rain has now made its way for clear skies, but we could see more soon. Meteorologist Mike Joyce is in for Natalie tonight. And what can we expect, Mike?
It doesn't seem that rain is on the way with all that blue sky out there, but with temperatures starting to cool down a little bit heading into the evening, we will see those showers move in from the west. Again, mid 80s south of I-70, low 80s up to the north, so pretty pleasant for most communities. But even though we have a few showers tonight, where we don't have that threat, or at least a very small threat, is for the air show this weekend. Saturday, 60 at 9 a.m., 78 at 1 o'clock, 82 at 6. We could have a very small stray shower on Saturday, but the majority of us will be dry, and if it does pop up, it's not going to last very long. Sunday, mostly sunny through the day, slightly warmer, 62 in the morning, 81 at 1 o'clock, and 85 at 6 o'clock in the evening. So a beautiful air show weekend for us this year. Not too hot, but still that typical July warmth. Overall, our allergy forecast, some improvement in the mold category, down to moderate, still a few sniffles there. Trees, ragweed on the low side, grass pollen back up again, but thankfully right now our overall air quality is in good shape.
Mike, thanks. We are officially on baby hippo watch. Fiona's little sister expected any day now. How this new baby could change things at the Cincinnati Zoo. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now. Here's your stocks.
Fiona stole the hearts of millions when she was born prematurely at the Cincinnati Zoo. Now the world-famous hippo is going to be a big sister. Christian Hauser found out just how soon the new addition could arrive.
Hippo Cove is one of the busiest areas at the Cincinnati Zoo. You can hear the excitement of little kids as they see hippos gracefully move through the water. Fiona, though, is by far the favorite.
Fiona is truly famous. I think you could say she's a famous hippo. She's a celebrity in her own way. So I think it will be different for this calf, but I think this calf will still be way more popular than the average hippo born in a zoo because it is Fiona's sibling, and I think people will fall in love with it even more because of that.
The staff thinks no matter how cute the newest addition is, everyone will still be there just to see Fiona.
I don't know how popular hippos were before Fiona. I don't think they were quite this popular, and she's brought a lot of attention to them, and I've seen or heard people say that, oh, I never realized hippos were cute until Fiona arrived, and now they can see it.
BB's technical due date is August 15th, but she's considered full term at this point. Whenever the baby hippo arrives, she'll have some big shoes to fill from her big sister. At the Cincinnati Zoo and Botanical Garden, I'm Christian Hauser.
Let's get one last look at our 7-day forecast. We're warming up at the end of the forecast once we get into August, but as we head into tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, not too bad. A couple showers possible in the morning, maybe a pop-up in the afternoon. That could also be true on Saturday, but the general look into the weekend shows plenty of sunshine, temperatures in the low to mid 80s, great air show weather, and then it gets hot this week. Monday, some scattered showers and storms. A good chance that we'll see a little bit of rain there, but then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, just summertime pop-ups looking likely with temperatures in the upper 80s on Tuesday, Wednesday, and 30s in the 90s. So we're heading right back up into the 90s once again as we head into the middle part of the first week of August.
It's going to be fun. This whole
That'll work.
It's new for you. It's all right.
Yeah,
hey, look,
it's all
there's the
good.
guy
It's
cam
all
up there.
good,
Okay. Yeah. Well, you brought some warmth for next week anyway, and it looks like a little bit of rain, so that's not too bad.
Not too bad. We're going to wrap up July right around average, so it's hard to complain about that. I know our grass has been popping back up when we've had that rain over the past
resilient.
couple of weeks. It
Yeah.
sure is. I went out of town in June, came back, my grass was pretty brown, and here we go, cutting it every week again. So
Back
that's
to
all
normal.
right. Yeah.
All right, Mike, thanks. And thank you for being with us tonight. Remember, you can always connect with us on social media. We're headed over to Fox 45 next. We hope you'll join us there. Good night.